All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at stealth on TryHackMe. So I actually did this box a little bit earlier, and I did it when Hack Smarter was live, Tyler Ramsey, when he was live. Um, so that was during my lunchtime. So I did it during lunchtime, and I thought it was super cool how two different people had two different concepts of machines, did two totally different attacks to the machine, and still got to the same final outcome. You know, and so I kind of looked at that and I was like, huh, that was pretty cool. Let's go ahead and showcase this like right here. And I did actually like this machine. Like right here, I thought it was a pretty good machine. So let's go ahead and grab that, right? We'll copy that to clipboard. If we start down here, it says like right here, button at the top right of the task, visit 1010 88 7172 or 8080. Okay, it's upon the machine. So let's just go ahead and just head straight over there. And after we go over there, we're also going to run a rust scan on this guy, just see what we're actually working with, right? So if we do a rust scan on that guy like right there, let's see what we're actually dealing with over here, right? And okay, we definitely deal with Windows here, right? So it looks like we have 5985, 3389 up. So we got WinRM, we have remote desktop, we have SMB up. Looks like a couple web servers are actually up, 8000 and 8443. Okay, and then we're gonna start getting all those random, higher up Windows ports there, right? So let's go ahead and let's see what this website says. It says PowerShell script analyzer, right? With a weird A. Okay. Please upload any .ps1 PowerShell script to see if it is malicious or not. Dev mode, right? So what we both very first started with was just a regular PowerShell script, right? But the very first thing I wanted to see was, can this talk back to me, right? So let's go ahead and let's make a ping.txt file, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're just going to say sublime ping.txt, which I believe I already have one, or ping.ps1. That's obviously not a ping, like right there. So we go ahead and we're going to delete all that. Let me go ahead and get rid of all this stuff too. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and see, can we ping ourselves first off, right? So we're just going to do a quick ping, and we'll just type in my IP address, right? And PowerShell is much like bash scripting, where you could just type in a command like that, and it's going to run it. So if you don't know how to script the PowerShell, it's pretty much the exact thing as bash scripting. You can pretty much just type in a command, and it'll run that command. Okay, you can put variables and everything else like that, just like you can bash scripting. You can put color in it. You can do everything you want, but you can also just type in the command. It's going pretty good, Faraday. How you doing? Let's go ahead and save that, and let's upload this guy, and let's also do a sudo TCP dump, right? Tac I tut 0, and we'll just look for only ICMP packets, right? We don't want to see every single thing that's coming across. So let's go ahead and we'll go to browse, try hack me, and we got this ping.ps1, right? So let's go ahead and upload that guy. So we upload it, and we'll see, it says that it's going to take 4 to 6 seconds over here on the site. We'll see if it actually calls back to me over here. Okay, cool. We do get pings, right? So remember, Windows is only going to ping 4 times. It's not like Linux where, we have to type in attack C and tell how many times. But, okay, cool. So we do get pings. Now, can we make this guy call back to a web server? That's the next question, right? So let's go ahead and do a Python 3 attack hp server.py, or Python 3 hp server port 80, right? And let's go ahead and let's try to do, we'll do a cat-script.ps1, or we'll actually do yeah, we can just do that like right there. Is that still my IP address? Yep. Okay, so what this is going to do, because like I said, this box earlier, it's going to put something into memory, right? It's going to call for it, put it into memory, use basic parsing in case Internet Explorer has not been started for the first time. Supposedly on PowerShell version 4, it's not supposed to do that anymore, but I still have to type it in, it seems like. And then we'll throw in that ping.ps1. So can we call back to myself, and then from there, will it actually run what is inside this file, right? So let's go ahead and do a sudo TCP dump again. We'll start to work on this machine, see what we can actually do with it, right? So we'll browse, we'll upload that script.ps1. And what we should see is we should see up here it grabbing that script, awesome. And then we see our pings down here. So we know now that we are running straight up, it's going into PowerShell and running whatever it is inside there. And we can also download something else from PowerShell, right? So we have figured out a lot about this machine so far. So now, if you just try to upload, like, let's say an invoke PowerShell TCP.ps1, right? That's not going to work. We need to actually start to look at this guy, and we need to obfuscate our code. Okay, so let me go ahead, and I'm just going to do a quick, what was it called? I did it in PowerShell, actually. So let me go cd to my tools, See if, nope, that's EFS potato. Let's see if I can find it again. The exact one that I used. I believe I just typed in a PowerShell obfuscator. And I believe it was this like right here, this get reverse shell. Okay, so this ghost get reverse shell like right here. I'll go ahead and I'll drop it into the over here so you guys can actually see it. There you go. Okay, so we're going to utilize that guy right there, right? Now, I do already have this on here, I believe. If I do an ls-la, and we'll go ahead and we'll grab tac I for reverse shell. And we do have our get reverse shell, that PS1 link right there. Okay, so this guy, it'll make a obfuscate code for us. But first we need to go into PowerShell, right? So let's go ahead and pwsh. All right, if you don't have that, it's just sudo apt install pwsh. And now we can now run PowerShell from Kali Linux here. Notice I'm also in my tools directory. I could always go back to it or some of that, but if I open it up, within tools, it'll already be in there, make my life easier, right? So let's go ahead and do a // get reverse shell.ps1, right? And it didn't actually give me anything. Let's go ahead and try something like that. It's not actually dropping anything out for me. Let's try import module maybe. Okay, there we go. So I probably just had to type in that get reverse shell, that's all. Okay, we could also have CAD this guy and see how we actually do it. Could have did something like a sublime text for him, right? And saw at the very beginning function get reverse shell. So that's what we know that we have to type in that command, right? And then the different parameters, okay? So it's going to ask for our IP address, which we probably could have put actually in there. I wonder if we could actually just done like a tac IP. I know you can barely see that because we're in that PowerShell thing, but I typed in tac IP, okay? And I wonder if I could just throw that in. I should be able to since it's parameter. And then the other parameter was, let's see here, port. Then we got aliases, commandless, integers, methods. So let's do port. So let's do attack port 445. Let's go ahead and try that. And then there we go. Okay. So we see that this drops out an obfuscated PowerShell for us now. So let's go ahead and copy all this. And we'll just go throw that into ping.ps1. Okay. Because we already, we already have that. We already have the script.ps1 to call back for it. We already have everything set up, right? So let's go ahead and sublime ping.ps1. And we'll do control A. We could also probably slow us to the script and be done with it, but we'll go ahead and do it like this. There we go. All right, we still have our Python server. And let's go ahead and do an RL wrap netcat for port 445, right? So let's browse. We want that script.ps1. We want to go ahead and upload that and see if it calls for ping.ps1 over here, and then see if it actually connects over here. And so far, it's looking pretty good. There we go. So we get on the machine now, right? Now, since we're coming from the web, if I do a who am I /all, we should have SE impersonate privilege at the logon. But we don't, right? So I actually do want to try something real quick because I did this a different way earlier. If it doesn't work, then obviously do it the different way again. But I actually want to look for the GitHub script for get all or restore privileges. Full powers. Is that it? Recover the default privilege set? Okay, I actually want to try this one real quick. And then if this doesn't work, if it does or does not work, I'll show you how I did the other one. So this is actually an SLM file. Okay, cool. So we do actually have full powers. So we got an executable over here. I wonder if I actually already have that. That's probably the worst thing to type for this power. But okay, so we do not have it. We're going to move from downloads, that full power.exe to right here. And let's try to put this up here now. wget http. We got this guy tools. No, this guy's in my own folder. So let's go ahead and Python 3. There we go. We go ahead and exit off here just so it's not confusing for us. And we'll throw in my IP address, right? /fullpowers.exe. Oh, I didn't save it. I didn't do attack O for out file, so that we're just going to see a lot of poop in there, but that's okay. Right? Okay. Well, it's going to take too long. We'll just do this again. Let's go ahead and upload that PowerShell script again, which means we do actually have to call back to here again. That's okay, though. People are allowed to mess up, right? Script.ps1. Upload, and we should be able to boom, boom. From here to here. Again. There we go. Okay, cool. Everything looks good. Attack go, and we'll do that full powers.exe again. All right, go ahead and grab that. Let's go ahead and try period slash full powers.exe. Remember, we do have to do that because it's PowerShell, and we'll see if it actually works or not. And then if not, we do have another way to be able to do this to get those privileges back. Now, I believe why we're not getting the privileges in the beginning is because it's actually calling for, like, let's say PowerShell or maybe PowerShell ICE or something like that. I think it's doing something like that. And that's why we're not getting the permissions in the very beginning. Let's go and try whoami/r. Okay, so we didn't get any new privileges. So we didn't unlock anything there, right? That's okay. Because if we see in the C drive, dir, we have this xamp folder like right here, right? So if we can see that xamp, then htdocs, we'll see our index.php in here, right? That's where we want to be at, right? It's that index.php. We also see an uploads directory here too. Let's go ahead and let's check out that index.php. Okay, or now that we know that index.php is here, let's go ahead and make sure that this goes to index.php. Okay, it looks like it does. Let's see if we can get to if that uploads actually exists in here. And it looks like it does, okay? So we have a few things in here, right? Now when we get here, what we can do is we can drop a Windows PHP shell into here, right? So let me go ahead and remember, this is a Windows machine, so we need to drop a Windows PHP shell. I like to use Ivan's Windows PHP shell. All right, then you type in Ivan Windows PHP shell. It's on GitHub. All right, airodump-ng. You go to source, reverse, and then there it is, like right there. Now I do already have this one. I believe I called it WinPHP. At least I think it's in here. Or WinShell maybe. Let's try Win. Okay, so I don't have it in here just per se, but do I have it up here? I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually copy that back down to here. I'm going to call it WinShell.php. Oh, 1 second. All right, so we got our or I should probably call it win.php, and then we'll just go ahead and move win.php to WinShell. There we go, okay. So now we now have our WinShell.php down here, right? So, and if I cat that win.php, all right, so that is my IP address, and we are calling back for port 445, right? Let's go ahead and upload this into here, and then call for it from the actual site itself, which should then allow us to get that SE impersonate privilege. So we will start up a web shell over here, and we will do a wget 3618 slash win. I believe it's still called win.php up here, right? We go and make sure. Yeah, I still just call it win.php up here. Taco win.php. Now, hopefully you have right permissions over this, right? And we do. So if I go ahead and do a dir, we now have that win.php sitting there. Awesome. So let's go ahead now and let's actually call for it while listening over here. RL wrap. Then we can go ahead and exit out of here now and exit out of here just to make a little more room for us. And we'll go ahead and we'll call for that win.php. And we do get a callback, whoami/all. As you see, we are the same user. Okay, we are still, if I do a whoami over here, and if I do a whoami over here, we will be the same user. But you'll see that now, we now have impersonate client after authentication. Right? And if I scroll up, we can see that I am still evader on host evasion. Same exact stuff. It's just this one came from the xamp area. Or this also works for inetpub, works for both of them, okay, within www root. And we now have a callback over that. So now what we can do, go and exit out of these two, right? Boom, boom, because now we now have a way in every single time now with that win.php. And what we can do from here now is we can go ahead and try to upload something like Juicy Potato or Print Spoofer or something like that. However, Defender is running on this. So what I found, the easiest one for me to do, which I believe, who is it? Hacksmarter, Tyler Rams there. He did it with what was it? God potato. I found that the easiest one for me was EFS potato. And utilizing that .cs file from ESF potato. So if I go ahead and I grab this file like right here, so let's go ahead and look up EFS potato on GitHub. Yeah, if we call for the reverse shell, since we called for it from if you call for um, like if you were able to put something into XAMPP or INAP Pub or some of that, and they call for it, you'll have that impersonate client after authentication. You can get rid of it um, as like the owner of the box or whatever, you know, order that machine. It's extremely difficult. So that's why we were able to get that privilege. That's why I was seeing if the full privilege thing would unlock it. So let's go ahead and download this guy right here. So we'll do a wget, that guy right there, right? And I'm actually want to go to my tools folder. Let's see if that's my tools folder also. Okay, so I do actually have it here also, so I could just did it from right there. But what we can do from here now is go and sublime that EFS. Now, we don't necessarily need to make a reverse shell from this, right there. That we could just create a new user, or we can just change the user that's on there. We know that both WinRM and RDP are open, right? So there's nothing on here, I don't think, that we actually call back to ourselves with. So, but what we do have to do is we have to do something weird here. All right, so if we go back out to here, we do have to do this guy right here. Okay, however, version 3.5 is not on here, so let's go ahead and cd into here. And we actually see version 4.0 point whatever, right? 30319. So what we actually want to do is something like this, right? C this guy right here, this version, okay, slash csc.exe, and then our EFS potato, right? Now, the thing is, though, we have put that EFS potato in in a different directory, right? So this is technically not going to work like right there. So we'll just keep that in the back of our heads for now. And we'll cd back into C users. I already forgot the user's name. Evader, cd invader. And I believe it's in documents like right now. Or did I already put it? I haven't put it on the machine yet, have I? So we actually can put it wherever. So we can put it like right here. We'll throw it right here. So let's go ahead and do our wget. Or did I already do that? No, I did not. Okay, wget. That guy right there. EFS potato. That. Oh, let's go into PowerShell first, huh? And we'll run that again. Oh, there we go. Now we need our whole version up here, right? With that version like right there. That's all good. Okay, put that slash after the V or before the V. All right. And then from here, okay, we want to call for, let's say, csc.exe. Then we're going to go to efspotato.cs. Then we got to have that no warn there. Let's see if that works. Okay, so it looks like you compiled it. It looks like it worked. Let's go ahead and do a dir. And we now have that efspotato.exe. So with this efspotato.exe, we can just run a command afterwards, any command we want. So let's go ahead and make a new user, put them in the administrators group and everything like that, right? Oh, what's up, Yankee Axe? How you doing? Dad, how you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and period slash. We'll run that efspotato.exe. Okay, then we can just put a command after this, right? Like, let's try who am I? Okay, we see that RT authority system. We technically don't have to actually get to root or to NT authority system because we could technically just, dir into C users administrator desktop, right? And do we actually see desktop? Doesn't look like we're actually looking at desktop. It may just be able to look like proof.txt, flag.txt, something like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to end up doing something like net user caret password / add. Okay. From here, we'll do a net local group administrators / add caret. Okay. So now caret is now part of the administrators group and part of the and now a user on the machine, right? Let's go ahead and try to put him maybe into net local group. Let's try something like remote management users, if this exists. The specified local group does not exist, okay? Let's go ahead and do a net local group. See what else exists. Remote management users right there, it lied to us, okay? Whatever. Let's go ahead and try to remnant into this guy now. We'll grab the machine's IP address. All right, we'll do caret. There we go. Put in my password that I typed in before. Let's go ahead and see if we can remote desktop into this guy. And we can. Okay, cool. So we can make this full screen now. We could have also used something like SMB or anything like that, right? That we want to, right? We can now hop into here, go into PowerShell, run PowerShell as an administrator, right? Run as administrator. Yes. And then from here, we should be able to go into C users administrator. I'm not going to make it any bigger just because it takes a bit to make it bigger out here, and really going to look at the flag administrator desktop. We can see that we can read that flag.txt right there. Now there is a little problem with the machine though, okay? And that is when we're evader up here and we go to look at that local.txt. So let's go ahead and cd / desktop, right? We have encoded flag, okay? Let's go ahead and type out encoded flag. And then we see a certificate. If we grab the certificate, that's okay. We can go ahead and we can just base 64 this like right here. Or we could throw it into we can also throw it into like CyberChef and it'll show us what it is. We can go and echo this. Base 64 TechD. All right, you can get the flag by visiting the link, boom, boom, 8,000, and then with all this stuff afterwards, okay? So let's go ahead and look at that like real quick. Let's go ahead and go to this page. And this part's actually be kind of funny because it didn't catch us. We have 8,000, and it says, you see it uploaded an invalid file. We technically did it because it actually never caught us once, right? But to get rid of that, what you're going to do is it says right here, maybe removing the log files for file uploads can help. So let's go and go into C, XAMPP, htdocs, dir, cd into uploads. And we do have that log.txt. Let's go and delete log.txt and try to refresh this. And then there we go. Okay. I don't really understand that one like right there. That one makes no sense to me because in all honesty, the logs are actually in the logs folder for XAMPP, so that one didn't really make much sense to me at all. The logs are in, let me see, our Apache folder. And we would actually see the logs for the upload in this folder. So if we see the logs from here, there's the logs, like right there. So if we actually type access.log, there's the logs and everything. Right? There's that. We could type error.log. Oh, or I could just get kicked out, whatever. It's not like it's a big deal anyways. We already did everything, right? But that is the whole machine like right there. So hopefully you guys learned something, enjoyed it. And yeah, that's the whole box. A little bit of obfuscation in there. From obfuscation, then using some obfuscation, then using some calling back through the XAMPP to be able to get person client after authentication, and then from there, um, hey, thanks a lot for the bits. Thank you very much, Yankee. I didn't even notice that. And then from there, grabbing using the EFS potato, or you can also use God potato or something like that. And then we create our own user, thus allowing us to be able to overtake the machine. So that's gonna be it for that video, like right there.